also get rewarded? Well, now you can with Discover Cashback Debit. It's a checking account that rewards everyone with cash back on everyday purchases with no fees, period. Check out eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
It's the final season of Pac-12 women's basketball as the Cal Bears come to Tucson Friday, January 26th to take on Adia Barnes and your Arizona Wildcats.
Yes, that's awesome.
Tip-off is at 7 p.m. only on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Are you afraid to open your investment portfolio statements when they come in the mail? This last year has brought its own unique set of trials and tribulations, but you don't have to face them alone. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee of Meridian Wealth Management. I've spent my career helping people navigate their financial wellness. Call me today at 719-1433. Let's open those envelopes together. We will make sure you're on the right track. Visit us online at meridianwealthllc.com for more information.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Cactus RV and Marine off the I-10 frontage road north of Ruthroff. Or visit cactusrv.com. Economy Plumbing Service. If water goes through it or to it, we do it. 885-3510.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket, getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but three first names, David Scott Kelly.
Who is going to be the next athletics director at the University of Arizona? That is not our question of the day, but it is a question that we are all asking. Maybe that'll be the question of the day tomorrow. But today, just a question. Who will be the next athletics director at the U of A? Who will be the next person to lead this Wildcats sports conglomerate now that Dave Hickey is going to be leaving that post here in about 9 days now? February the 2nd will be the last day Dave Hickey runs the athletic department at the University of Arizona. Names are already starting to be bandied about. I threw one out there today. We'll get into some of those names. I want to hear what you think on some of those names. One name was thrown out by our longtime local sports writer, Greg Hansen, yesterday. Mac Rhodes, Tucson born, Tucson bred, as I like to say, out of Rincon High School, who now runs the athletic department at the Baylor University. That would be interesting. We were just talking about Baylor a few weeks ago and how they've built a new arena.
Contraction.
There. I'd love to talk to Mac Rhodes about that new arena, the decision to build that. He has been there in that position since July of 2016. Why they made the decision. We talked to the broadcaster from the Baylor Bears about the decision by that university to contract on their arena from 10,300 to 7,500 with 500 standing room only seats. It would be interesting at some point as we talk about what the evolution of McHale Center might be. I mean, obviously there was and this goes all the way back to, there's a lot of things obviously that have transpired. COVID transpired, And that has led, I would imagine that's part of what has led to this financial situation that the university is in on a number of levels, including athletics. But you might remember way back in the day, there was supposed to be a second phase of McHale Center, the remodel, that never took place. But the new thing, and I mentioned this a few weeks ago, the new thing now is standing room areas at arenas. A lot of people don't want to sit anymore. They want to be able to stand. They want to be able to be social. And it would be interesting to see if maybe something like that, they carved that into the plan at the stadium. They have those standing levels. There's two of them that are on the lower side of they kind of surround the Zona Zoo. On each side of the Zona Zoo, they've had created those standing room areas. It would be interesting to see maybe if something like that could be in the offing at McHale Center eventually to allow folks to maybe congregate in an area where you can be more social, you can stand and watch the game, and not have to be necessarily tethered to a seat. Because it's always interesting when you go to a game, and I think it's even more interesting here because of the fact that we have such an older fan base at the University of Arizona. Like, I was at the game the other day, and there was a lot. I mean, for a large portion of that game, there was a large portion of that crowd that was standing.
Yeah.
For that game.
Yeah.
On Saturday against UCLA.
There's a lot of younger people in the crowd that day.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what I noticed walking around.
And so I always wonder, like, okay, there's people standing, there's people sitting. You always kind of feel a little self-conscious if you're standing and you're kind of looking behind you to see if the people behind you are standing, and if they're sitting, maybe you sit. I mean, it's kind of one of those dynamics in sports nowadays.
There's like a social contract there, 'cause especially if you're tall, you're standing up. And but yeah, I mean, I think there's a feel. And in McHale in particular, it's usually after those runs. It's usually after some kind of big play, open court play, and the crowd will get just organically hyped about a big play. And then if that turns into a defensive stop and another, like, if they hit a three, come down the next time, hit a three, that's when McHale goes crazy. There's a less organic nature of people who are just trying to get the crowd to get up and make noise all the time. But it's always been that way. McHale's always been a, what have you done for me lately kind of crowd. You know what I mean? But standing, certainly if there's standing only seats, that lends itself just that atmosphere of being more involved in the game.
Yeah. And it's very different. I've been to games like when we went to the Diamondbacks, one of the postseason games. And we sat for that. Like we were in seats and we sat for that. But when we went home this summer and we went to the Indians game, we bought seats in one of the standing locations because we wanted to be able to sit. And I'm fine with that. I mean, I can stand for 3 hours. I'm still young enough that I can do that. I'm not at the point in my life where I have to be sitting to watch a sporting event. But yeah, we kind of when we go back to Cleveland to go to see the Indians, and I mentioned that one time we went back and we went to see the Cavs, and they've got a new standing area that's at the top of the arena, kind of a bar-like area. We went and bought tickets there, or sometimes you can just buy tickets and go stand there. You don't even have a ticket to get into that section.
What are your Cavs going to be sitting for a while?
Huh?
Tristan Thompson, he's going to be sitting for a long while.
But we'll get into the NBA. But who's the best team? Who's the hottest team in the NBA right now?
You tell me. It's not I'll tell you what, it's not the T-Wolves, that's for sure.
It is not. Is it not the T-Wolves? They were for a while.
They're not after last night.
No, God, yeah, they didn't. They got a great performance by Karl Anthony Towns, I should say. But they didn't win the game.
They did not.
No. But since you brought up, I brought up the Cavs. But yeah, they're the hot team right now in the NBA. That makes me feel good, considering how injured they're still playing without Darius Garland and Evan Mobley, and they've got the sharpshooters that they got in the offseason have started to do just that. Sharpshoot.
Well, I mean, when you've got like 9 7-footers on your team, got to have some shooters out there.
Got to, indeed.
And funny thing is the Jazz, the other side of that trade, right? Big trade.
Yeah.
Last year, they're another super, super hot team. I think they're something like 14-5 in their last 19 games, something like that.
Suns are hot too. Another big win last night over the Bulls. We'll let you hear some of that coming up today on the show as well. But again, it's again. Well, there we go. I started talking about Dave Hickey and dissolved into standing at events. I love how radio works.
That's how it works.
I love this.
Maybe
radio.
McHale just needs a river down there.
A river?
Yeah, like Baylor's got the Baylor thing.
Oh,
the
yes.
reason Baylor changed their arena and put it out there and maybe got rid of 4,000 seats is location, right? So there's no river last time I checked running through campus on the U of A.
There's not many rivers running through Tucson anywhere. I don't know if we can. I don't think you want to put an arena down on the Santa Cruz. That might be interesting.
Probably
it would only be interesting during the summertime, and there's no events going on then. But yeah, so that was kind of interesting Saturday, just kind of watching the dynamics of the people that were sitting, the people that were standing, and that whole thing. At the U of A's win over UCLA.
Everybody stood at that second timeout.
Oh, yeah. When the football team came out, that was everybody in the building was standing for that. So who's going to be the next athletic director? Could it be Mack Rhoades, Tucson-born, Tucson-bred, AD at Baylor? Would that be a lateral move for him? Is that something he would be? Is Arizona more attractive than Baylor at this point? They're right along, I think, the same lines in terms of placement. Like when you're talking about the Directors' Cup, which was brought up, and we discussed that a little bit yesterday with Anthony Gimino in our conversation initially when this all transpired. I believe Baylor and Arizona are kind of around the same plane, top 40-ish,
now
top 35-ish schools.
Is that decision affected by the fact that they'll be in the same conference next year? So potentially leaving one school to go to another school in the same conference is not usually something that goes down?
No, not usually. But again, and we don't know what his ultimate goals are. I mean, is Arizona his dream job? Is his dream job just to be an AD? I mean, it's hard to say. But that's one name. Mack Rhoades. That's one name that's out there. The name I threw out there is Erica Hansen-Barnes. Already in-house, longtime administrator with the University of Arizona, national champion softball player, my former analyst when I did the softball games here back in my first incarnation of radio here in Tucson. When I was working with Learfield, which back in the day it was IMG College, now Learfield. Eric and I used to do the games together. So I've known her since pretty much day one of me stepping foot in this town. And she has been a good soldier and good lieutenant for a lot of years and a great fundraiser. She's been involved in some of the major hires that have gone on. I know for a fact she was very involved in the hiring of Sean Miller when he was here as the basketball coach. So she's someone that's been around the block and seen a lot. She was the interim at one point. I believe the interim either in between Live and Good and Burn, I believe she was the interim. If my memory serves me correctly, I'm getting up to that age, that part of my life where my memory does not always serve me very well. But I know she was the interim either between Burn and Live and Good or between Burn and Hickey. I believe it was Burn and Live and Good. So she knows a little bit about being in that lead seat, and I think she's ready for that. So we can talk about that. What do you think about her? I've gotten a lot of responses today from people that believe that it should not be anybody that it's currently involved in this administration because of, we don't know yet, but we believe that there was some potential things that happened within this administration on the financial side that might not look good. And apparently there's a report that's going to be coming out this week that may spell some of that stuff out.
Improprieties?
I don't know if it was I don't like that word per se. Maybe just not smart spending of money. I don't know if it was like anything like illegal or bad or anything like that. I just think that maybe there was some things that were bought or spent on that maybe shouldn't have been spent on. You know that.
Is that like when you're up really late at night and the commemorative coins come on and you're like, I got to get these plates, or is that kind of thing?
You know, we go back to the fact, and again, I don't know for fact that the three major money teams are all traveling via charter. I believe that they are. That again, I think if first and foremost, that may be something that has to be addressed. I mean, charters are not cheap. They're not cheap. So that might be one thing that has to be. If you're looking to cut money, I think the first thing I might be doing is cutting some of the charter flights for some of these teams that might be flying charter. All right, it is a horrible. It was actually okay when I left to go up to Pima a few hours ago, but the weather has turned horrible. I still don't have a camera for cricket. If you're watching on one of our media platforms, she is right now just a blank screen. So you can see me, you can see JW, you can't see cricket. I don't know why people can't see cricket.
I could turn my camera around that way.
But we can hear cricket. Well, cricket, can you move to that seat? Do you feel comfortable over there? Yeah, if you move to, I think it's. Let's see, I've never sat over there. Oh, she's never sat over there. I'll give you a minute to because I know I've got that camera. There she is. There she is. Miss Traffic and Weather. Always great. How are you? I'm going to put you on the big screen now. There you go. Say hello.
Oh, I like this better. I can see you both.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Turn my head
well,
to
maybe
see J-Dub.
maybe that'll be the new thing now.
Okay, I like this.
Yeah, maybe you'll be there from now on.
What's up?
Okay. So bad weather out there right now, Cricket. How is that? I know that up at my house, the electricity went out earlier. I don't know if that's been a widespread thing throughout the town. I think it's back now on in the foothills. It did go out for a while, but let us know everything that is happening out there in terms of the traffic and weather and making sure that people get home safely on this Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, sure. From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together with a crash at River and Stone on Stone Avenue south of River. I believe you're going to have some heavy southbound restrictions there. 22nd and Craycroft reported also to the northwest side, La Cañada and Ina. Some backups at Alvernon and Grant, also on Swan at Speedway, and some busy traffic on westbound Grant and westbound Speedway, both approaching I-10. 48 the low overnight and continued rain through tomorrow. 54 now and drizzles across town. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need for the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Did you miss the big game? We got you covered.
Rashada will take the snap, play fake, sets up, looking to throw, nowhere to go. Now he'll run it to the near side, being chased and sacked. Back at the 41-yard line, Jacob Manu.
PK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
Happy New Year, guys. That was right in my ear.
Oh, good. I see you're doing the whole baby New Year costume with the diaper and the sash.
Time to make resolutions. I resolved not to look at you dressed like that. People should start the new year by fixing up their heating and air system.
That's true. Alaskan AC can fix the stuff other companies can't.
Again, right in my ear. Plus, the Grizzly.
Right. The Grizzly is our custom-built AC made to take a chomp out of Arizona summers.
Still winter, guys. And we can fix up heaters to save our customers gobs of money. Gobs.
We believe in fixing before replacing.
What's a gob?
An Alaska-fied system is one that will last longer
and is guaranteed to be repair-free for an entire year. Woohoo! I swear, one more time with that thing.
Good resolution, Gary. Let's get out there and help people fix up their systems and save some real money.
All right. Probably should have told him to put some clothes on first.
Yeah.
Schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
Well, it's the first part of a new year, and some people are coming up with some pretty interesting New Year's resolutions.
I'm taking karate classes.
Hey, wait just a minute.
Let's get something really stupid tattooed on our butt.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why not make your New Year's resolution to always save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn? You'll not only save up to 40%, but there's also no city or state sales tax at Tobacco Barn because they're on the reservation.
I'm getting married to the first girl I meet. Hey there, sweetheart.
And you can save up to another $3 with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
Let's try parachuting. Geronimo!
So save up to 40%, save with no city or state sales tax, and save up to another $3 with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com. But maybe skip the skydiving. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
How wrestling really works and how you get the ratings. Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson explain on 83 Weeks.
You and I made a bet about CM Punk. It was a hair versus hair matchup, so we're going to have a great time, and we're going to shave your head again.
As a nod to the Road Warriors, we can do the Road Warrior tribute haircut.
How about that? So he's going to look like Road Warrior Hawk.
83 Weeks on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Hi, it's Floyd, the family man with the family plan. Outdated HVAC systems will drive up your electric bill, drain your wallet, and peace of mind. Save now at Goodfellas with no payments or interest till 2024. Get a 30% federal tax credit, up to $2,000 off qualifying heat pumps. Trust Goodfellas. We're locally owned with thousands of 5-star reviews. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Visit us at goodfellasac.com to schedule a no-cost estimate.
Hey folks, Rich Eisen here. Get ready because the football playoffs are here and the guys on my show are having a blast picking their teams and stats on Prize Picks. Plus, with basketball season going strong, they're able to pick combo projections across both sports. Join them on prizepicks.com/primetime. Easy gameplay and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what they tell me makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. And right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Brockman is loving that aspect. He's hooked. And all you need to do is visit prizepicks.com/primetime and use code primetime. That's code primetime at prizepicks.com/primetime for a first deposit match up to $100. Don't be left on the sideline this basketball season. Go to Prize Picks. Daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Android users, you can tune in to the home of the Wildcats by downloading our new app at the Google Play Store so you can tune in wherever you are 24 hours a day. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Tucson area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
I thought learning a language would be too much work, but Babbel makes learning fun. J'aime Babel.
Babbel's lessons only take 10 or 15 minutes, and soon you turn and realize, hey, I'm starting to speak another language. How'd that happen?
Babbel isn't robots talking. You learn words and phrases from real native speakers. I was ready for real-life conversations in just a few weeks. So easy.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Today on Hey Culligan's Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program today. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Obviously, we are still dealing with the big news of yesterday, and that is the dismissal or the parting of ways, however you want to Frame It of Dave Hickey and the University of Arizona. We obviously normally talk to Dave Hickey on Tuesdays. We did not speak with him last week because of everything that was going on with the hiring of the head football coach, which initially happened a week ago today. And then Brent Brennan was introduced to us on Wednesday, and we unfortunately will not be talking to Dave Hickey today either. We were informed of that earlier this afternoon that he would not be available, and I'm not sure if we will get a chance to talk to Dave Hickey again in his current role as the athletic director, which he'll wrap up on February the 2nd. If not, obviously, we here at Wildcats Radio 1290 want to thank him for all that he has done for the university and the athletics department, and for coming on with us weekly and speaking from the heart on all matters that are University of Arizona athletics. We definitely appreciate having him. He was always a great guy to talk to, whether it was on the air here or off the air. And so we wish Dave Hickey nothing but the best in all of his future endeavors. I'm sure that he'll be a guy that we see working in collegiate sports at some point down the line, somewhere down the line. And Dave Hickey's career definitely, I do not believe, is over unless he chooses that he wants to go in a different direction after having been an athletic director at Central Michigan prior to his time coming here to the University of Arizona. 520-848-1290 is the number if you want to get in on the program today. Lots in store for you coming up. Today was signing day for the Pima College baseball team up on West Anklam Road, and we're going to chat with a few of the ball players that are on Coach Ken Hakimi's roster this year. Diego Alvarez will join us today. Antonio Avila will also join us. We'll get a chance to talk some baseball with them. We're only going till 5:30 today, as we normally go on Tuesdays. We've got the Adia Barnes radio show, and that is coming up for you at 5:30. Derek Palmer and Adia will be at the Sands Club at the stadium. I'm sure that we will have a chance to hear from Adia Barnes and get her thoughts. We heard from Tommy Lloyd last night, and J-Dub, if you could maybe get those thoughts together from Tommy Lloyd from last night that we can have a chance to hear for the folks that maybe did not hear what Tommy had to say at the beginning of his show about the departure of Dave Hickey as the athletics director at the University of Arizona. Hey, who will be the next AD at the U of A is the question. We threw out a couple of names at the beginning of this program. One of those is a Tucson native and current AD at Baylor. This was a name that was thrown out there by Greg Hansen last night in the media. Mack Rhodes. Mack Rhodes has been in that role going on 7 years now. I think he was hired maybe a year before Dave Hickey was hired here. Mack Rhodes was hired in 2016. Dave Hickey was hired here at the University of Arizona in 2017. Would Mack Rhodes be a guy that wants to come home and take over his hometown university athletics program? That is something that remains to be seen. Another name, one that I threw out today, Erica Hanson-Barnes, who has been with the athletics department since 2015. So she's going on 18 years of service for the U of A. And again, it was interesting. Some folks, though, not necessarily thinking that it's a good decision to go with somebody that's already been a part of this department and might maybe tied up in whatever the, quote, potential mismanagement might be. The guy that's going to be sitting in the interim seat will be Mike Candrea. Is Mike Candrea a guy that could potentially take over this athletic department? There was talks about that. There's kind of always been talks about that upon Mike Candrea retiring from his service on the field, that he could be a guy that's destined for higher education or higher administration, I should say. Would Mike be interested in being the long-term leader of this athletic department? A guy, again, that's been there, understands it, and probably knows a lot about the inner workings of it. Mike Candrea, I don't think you could go wrong with that hire, but I think the ultimate question is, would Mike want to do that? at this point in his life? Would he want to take on that type of responsibility on a full-time basis? I'm sure there are a lot of younger names outside of the family that are out there. If there are any that excite you, would love to hear those. I can't remember off the top of my head. There was an administrator that just left U of A not too long ago to take over the athletics director job at Bowling Green. He's only been in that position for a few years. Derek Vandermeer took over the AD's role a year ago, and so he's been there about a year and a half. At Bowling Green, he went there in October of 2022, was an administrator under Hickey here at the University of Arizona. Could he be a guy, after just a year and a half leading his own department, could he be a guy maybe you look at to try to come back here and take over the University of Arizona? Do we have those Tommy Lloyd cuts? Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd and what he had to say at the beginning of his show last night about the departure of Dave Hickey.
Yeah, I mean, Dave and Liz are great people, and Chanel and I will always be thankful for them, for everything they did for us. I mean, they literally helped change our lives and kind of the trajectory of our lives. So just amazing people, and it's a tough business, and sometimes as a coach you don't know all the ins and outs that go into these decisions, and we just kind of found out this afternoon, and I was working with Dave on some stuff all weekend, and so you just found out this afternoon after practice when I got out, and so we're pretty surprised. So wishing them nothing but the best going forward, and anything we can do to help and support Dave, we should do.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only as Arizona, of course, he's worked on the national basis as well. So we wish Dave the best of luck.
For sure. And, Dave, I'm sure, is going to have, has a lot more left in the tank. And, he's not that old. So I'm sure he's going to go and be successful where he's at. And, these are, obviously tough, confusing times for a lot of us. So, I'm wishing him nothing but the best.
Okay. All right, let's move on to some.
All right, that was Dave. That was Tommy Lloyd on his show last night. The first comments that he had about the departure of Dave Hickey, the athletics director who hired him here. What's going to be Dave Hickey's legacy here at the University of Arizona? He obviously was on watch for the hiring of Kevin Sumlin as the football coach. That did not work out. He was on watch for the hiring of Jed Fish as the football coach. That worked out. Did not necessarily end maybe the way that we all wanted it to. And he was on watch last week for the hiring of Brent Brennan as the new head football coach. And that, I think that's the thing that kind of makes this all a little bit strange, is that if this was a decision that President Robbins knew he was going to make, then why does he allow Dave Hickey to go out and hire a new football coach?
Man, I mean, there's going to be more, I think, answers forthcoming than we have answers right now. If I had to pick one word as far as legacy goes, it would be Zoom. Because, I mean, you just said it was been weird. I mean, everything about the last 4 years relative to the athletics departments across the country have been weird in all of that. I mean, NIL has changed the entire landscape. A lot of these coaches were hired over video conference. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know relative to the timeline of what Dr. Robbins had in mind. And then, obviously, Dr. Robbins has been under the weather recently, which is a factor as to why he wasn't there at the Coach Brennan's press conference. So I think there's a lot of answers yet to be coming.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's all very interesting in terms of how this played out, because that's normally not the way it happens. And just like Tommy Lloyd said right there, I mean, he and Dave were in conversations about stuff over the weekend. So this all came down relatively quickly, that the U of A wanted to go in a different direction with their athletics program. When we found out the news late yesterday during this show that it was no longer going to be a direction led by Dave Hickey. Again, 520-848-1290 is the number for you if you want to get in on this program. We have got something interesting to tell you about as it relates to the Pac-12 men's basketball tournament that is going to be coming up here we're just under 2 months away. So we're on I guess we can say we're officially on the backside of the men's basketball season. I believe there's 13 regular season games left for the University of Arizona. Wildcats Radio 1290 and Coors Light want to send you to the men's basketball tournament at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas from March 13th through the 16th. Grand prize, get this, 2 all-session passes for the tournament, $1,000 in cash cards to cover travel plans, a few nights in a Vegas hotel, whatever you want to do. It's $1,000. You can spend that however you want to spend it. If you want to win, check out WildcatsRadio1290.com and sign up. Get all the details and official contest rules. Everything you need to know is on our website, WildcatsRadio1290.com. A 2-session stay for the Pac-12 men's basketball tournament at the T-Mobile Arena in mid-March. It's a prize you can only get right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Good luck from Coors Light and Wildcats Radio 1290. 520-848-1290. Let's talk to Bill. You're on DK on the Sports Tip.
Hey, DK, Bill from 520 Sports Talk. Just wanted to get your take on possibility of Mark Harlan, who is a U of A guy, but he's up at Utah and is doing a fantastic job at Utah. He was the one that saw them go into the from the Pac-10 to the Pac-12, and obviously their football program was really good, and they've had good basketball teams for a few years as well. What are your thoughts on that?
Mark Harlan, that would not necessarily be a bad hire. It's a guy that came up, on his way to the ADC he currently sits in, I should say. He came through the University of Arizona, so he's very familiar with how this operation works here. I would think, though, again, and it's kind of very similar to Mack Rhodes. Is that a lateral move for Mark Harlan? It's not so much. I don't believe Mark Harlan is actually from here. I know he worked here, but I don't think he's actually from here like Mack Rhodes, where for Mack Rhodes it would be coming back home. So I don't know. Like you said, he's got a better football program there, which, again, football runs everything. He's got some pretty dominant other programs in other sports. Their gymnastics is fabulous, and they've got a pretty darn good right now women's basketball program as well. I don't know that would be an upwards move for him. You would probably have to pay him a little bit more to get him to leave a situation like that to come to Tucson. It wouldn't be a bad decision. I just don't know if that's a decision from his standpoint that he would want to make.
And also, with both schools going from the Pac-12 to the Big 12, it would just, I see your point as far as the lateral thing. So it would be probably a little different if one school was in a different conference than Arizona as well.
There's a lot of that happening in terms of both of those men that we've talked about today. Both, we may all be in the Big 12 here. We obviously are all going to be in the Big 12 here very shortly.
It makes it really weird, right?
With
all the conference intermingling.
Yeah. I don't think you think we can pry Chris Del Conte out of Texas? Think he would?
That would be a coup right there because. If
I had my choice, I think of all three of those guys, I think I'd want Chris Del Conte, but I don't think
definitely.
I don't think unless he really has like a vision of being able to put a school like Arizona back on the level of a Texas, or at least in the top 10 nationally, then I don't think he's coming back here to Tucson either.
It's kind of interesting now that both big state schools, ASU and U of A, do not have athletic directors.
Yeah.
Or at least on a permanent basis.
Again, it's a weird time right now. It's a weird time with everything that is happening with both universities and the Arizona Board of Regents. It's a roadblock that both schools have got to get by in order to keep themselves moving forward, I think, as major players and major universities on the athletic landscape. So we'll see how that all plays out.
I don't know why they're dragging their feet. With my contacts up there, I haven't heard many names thrown around for possibilities to replace Ray Anderson. And I'm just wondering what's taking so long, and why isn't this being kind of pushed through at a faster rate?
Is that a money situation there too, you think, potentially, why they haven't made a decision?
It might be, and also I think, even though I don't think that ASU is going to get hammered with sanctions just like the U of A basketball team didn't, I think with them getting rid of Herm Edwards and all the people that were allegedly involved in that situation on the staff, I think it was in the same type of thing as when the U of A got rid of Sean Miller. So I really don't think any big sanctions are coming down. They may get a slap on the wrist like the U of A did, but I'm not sure if that's what's maybe holding some of the better names or some of the better candidates out of applying for that job, just because it's, we got to wait and see type situation.
Bill, hey, we appreciate you checking in with the information. Always keep us up to breast on what's happening over at 520 Sports Talk.
Will do, brother. Thanks.
Bill McCullough calling in there with another interesting name, Mark Harlan from the University of Utah. We'll get some names.
Anderson's been a minute too, right? It's like 2.5 months ago.
It's a while ago.
They're dragging their feet.
It's a while ago. Yeah, they're trying to figure it out over there. Hopefully, it does not take that long here to figure it out. All right, getting you home every 20 minutes on an ugly day. Here is Cricket.
And from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. We've been seeing some busy traffic on Grant at I-10, Alvernon and Grant, also Speedway at Swan and Speedway. Collisions, River Road and Stone on Stone Avenue south of River with southbound restrictions, La Cañada and Ina, so 22nd Street and Craycroft. We've got a very high chance of rain through tomorrow morning, 48 the low, and 54 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Gaming.
Think you may have a gambling problem? Help is just an online 10-question quiz away. Take it today at problemgambling.az.gov, because knowing if you might have a problem is the first step toward solving it.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I can enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing in automotive repair or for your next set of tires, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
You know, we've guaranteed our tires in every auto repair since 1960.
With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
Pay with your Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care card and get $66 back. And check out the full page of promotions, discounts, and coupons at jackfurriers.com.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
Happy New Year, guys. That was right in my ear.
Oh, good. I see you're doing the whole baby New Year costume with the diaper and the sash.
Time to make resolutions. I resolve not to look at you dressed like that. People should start the new year by fixing up their heating and air system.
That's true. Alaskan AC can fix the stuff other companies can't.
Again, right in my ear. Plus, the Grizzly.
Right. The Grizzly is our custom-built AC made to take a chomp out of Arizona summers.
Still winter, guys. And we can fix up heaters to save our customers gobs of money. Gobs.
We believe in fixing before replacing.
What's a gob?
An Alaska-fied system is one that will last longer
and is guaranteed to be repair-free for an entire year. Woohoo! I swear, one more time with that thing.
Good resolution, Gary. Let's get out there and help people fix up their systems and save some real money.
All right. Probably should have told him to put some clothes on first.
Yeah.
Schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
This summer, savings is the ultimate drive.
The road has been long, and now you're here. One incredible family.
You've saved so many families so much. I want that opportunity.
Savings and Selection 100, now playing at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Go to O'Reilly.com, call 747-8000, or test drive one on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Find new roads at O'Reilly Chevrolet. More than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Westwood One is the only place for exclusive audio coverage of every NFL postseason game. Hi, this is Scott Graham. Join us throughout the month of January and into February as we bring you Super Wildcard Weekend, the Divisional Round, Championship Sunday, and of course Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. All 13 NFL playoff games are on Westwood One. If it's the NFL playoffs, it's right here.
Hey folks, Rich Eisen here. Get ready because the football playoffs are here and the guys on my show are having a blast picking their teams and stats on Prize Picks. Plus, with basketball season going strong, they're able to pick combo projections across both sports. Join them on prizepicks.com/primetime. Easy gameplay and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what they tell me makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. And right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Brockman is loving that aspect. He's hooked. And all you need to do is visit prizepicks.com/primetime and use code primetime. That's code primetime at prizepicks.com/primetime for a first deposit match up to $100. Don't be left on the sideline this basketball season. Go to Prize Picks. Daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. I knew we could not put off getting life insurance. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $40 a month. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $18 a month.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050 or go to SelectQuote.com now. That's 1-800-452-5050. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on this program here. We are streaming this show audio-wise on a number of different places you can find the show. You can find it on our website, wildcatsradio1290.com. We are also on the Odyssey and iHeart apps, as well as you will want to download our app. In fact, text app to 848-1290, 520-848-1290. Text app to that number. I'll send you a link, and you can download our app so you can take Wildcats Radio 1290 with you.
It slaps.
Wherever you go. Our app slaps. We've got a full recap on our app right now. If you go to our app, give you a full recap on what happened last night with your Phoenix Suns. They won again, and Kevin Durant was big down the stretch.
Beal rolls, little floater, left it short, Drew with the offensive glass. KD straight away. Boom! Nurk with the rock, finds Durant, raising up for the win.
How about Kevin Durant's performance last night? 40 points. 43 points.
Yep.
In the ball game. 6 of 13 from the floor. He hit that game winner with 1.6 seconds left to go, and then the Suns defended it out for a 115-113 win over Dalen Terry and the visiting Chicago Bulls. Dalen unfortunately played just 9 minutes in this game. Has started a few games of late, but came off the bench, just 9 points, did not score in those 9 minutes. Had 1 assist, 0 points, 1 assist in 9 minutes off the bench for Dalen Terry. But
back-to-back 40 pieces.
Yeah.
KD, we didn't get a chance yesterday to talk about the game 2 days ago. They played the Pacers, and that's why the whole Pacer team was in McHale the other night. Ben Mathurin did not have a good game, but in that game, DK, KD had 40 points on 0 free throw attempts.
Wow.
40 points, 0 free throw attempts in the win over the Pacers, and then they backed that up last night. That game winner was real nice, too. Caruso came over and almost, looked like he could have got affected that shot from behind, but KD did KD things, and that was that.
Yeah, kind of a double pump he had, too, because of that. Finished with 43 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. That wasn't even the best performance of the night, but we'll get to that. Bradley Beal, 18 points for the Suns, 16 for Devin Booker in the game as the Suns just continue to play really good basketball. They're now 25-18. They have won 6 games in a row. I remember a few weeks ago they were just 19-18, and we were kind of starting to wonder.
Yeah.
Well, they have found their groove. Kevin Durant, the player of the week in the Western Conference from last week, the 32nd time that he has won an NBA Player of the Week honor. Only 2 players have won more honors of such.
One-name players, right?
Then you could say they are one-name players.
Yeah.
Do you know those one names?
I do.
Okay.
Kobe and LeBron.
Kobe and LeBron. Kobe Bryant won it 33 times. So Durant needs 2 more to surpass him. And a guy named LeBron James
7 million times.
has won it 67 times.
Yeah.
In his career. Kevin last week averaged 31 points on 60% shooting from the floor. And after the ball game, his head coach, Frank Vogel, talking about that play at the end that they drew up to get KD involved and get that win.
Western Conference Player of the Week. Followed that up with a hell of a performance. That's one of the best performances I've been a part of. What Kevin Durant did tonight, that was special, including the game winner. The double clutch 17-footer. I haven't seen a shot like that. Pretty awesome. We just want to get KD the ball and try to get the last shot. And, with all denials, first play of the game, last play of the game, start of quarters, we just we play through the big and then back cut. The guy that's being denied. There's to burn, call it flash burn, flash the big, burn on the backside. And, those guys executed it when we needed it the most. And he did a ridiculous shot.
You've seen Kevin do it so many times, but tonight, was it just maybe just take you through the emotion of all that was going on in the game and then him doing what he did at the end?
Yeah, the emotions are all positive right now. We got a great deal of belief that's building with our group and our togetherness and our cohesion. The way we were in the fight together in those huddles and, everybody pulling in the same direction, not losing our mind when things weren't going our way. Which a lot of times that happens. Guys just kept trying to figure out the game. And credit the Bulls. They came out and gave us their best shot. We have a team that we're going to get a lot of teams' best shot. And those guys played terrific. They made threes. They brought defensive pressure. They played a terrific game. But, we stayed together. We learned last week against Sacramento that, we're never out of a game. We don't give up. And we knew we were going to have a chance if we stay with it.
Well, and I mentioned that the Suns have won 6 games in a row, but they've actually now won 11 of their last 14, and they're only 3 games behind the Clippers now. They're in second place in the Pacific Division. They're just 3 back of the L.A. Clippers. The Suns are finding it right now as they climb the charts in the Western Conference.
The Clippers, meanwhile, have lost 2 games in the last month. they have been
they're still
red
playing.
hot too.
They're still playing very well.
Yeah.
But Durant this season, averaging 29 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, shooting 47% from 3. Not fazed at all by how that game ended last night.
It's basketball at the end of the day, man. It's not too serious. I know these games are high stakes, and it's a lot on the line, but at the end of the day, it's still hoop. And so in the moments, I try to be as calm as I can and execute the game plan, really. And it's a fun game, man. Chicago presents a tough challenge because they press you all game. They top 5 in the league and turning teams over. They got small guards that can penetrate and shoot. So, I feel like this whole week we've been having to, play against so many different types of teams. That's just preparing us to, as we, head down to this, second half of the season. So, it's a fun game.
Do you take a moment to enjoy those moments, or, like I saw you celebrating with the crowd?
Yeah.
You take a chance to digest it in a celebratory way or not?
If it's a timeout or something, and get a chance to take it in for a couple seconds as I'm walking to the huddle, and then I got to worry about the next play, So try to have that next play mentality, but also understand and stay present understand what I'm doing and also stay present, and try to keep that momentum I have as well. So it's a balance you got to have, but I like the next play mentality of our group tonight.
Last thing I had was the pass from Nurkic. How big was that for you to scramble a little bit and find it?
Huge. I mean, everybody in the gym knew the ball was coming to me, and especially Caruso. He's such a smart defender. He jumped it. Him and DeRozan, I think, kind of shadowed it a little bit out of bounds pass, and Nurk made himself available, and we work on that back door so many times in game and practice. So I seen Caruso flying too, so I had to double pump just a little bit, but I'm glad it went in.
So the Suns have won 6 in a row. They are right now the 5th seed in the Western Conference at 25-18. Those 6 straight wins, not the longest winning streak in the NBA right now. Tied for second with the Sixers.
Some other team from the East, right?
Yeah, the Sixers have won 6 in a row. We'll talk about the Sixers' 6th straight win coming up in the next half hour, because there was some pretty impressive stuff.
Fireworks.
That was attached to that win by the Sixers. But there's a team that has 8 straight wins.
Which
right
team
now.
would that be?
That
David
would be
Kelly?
the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, yeah.
Despite the fact that Tristan Thompson is drugging out and
26 and 15,
games.
4th place in the Eastern Conference,
Yeah.
just ahead of the New York Knicks by 2 games.
And
1 game.
the team at the top, the Boston Celtics, at 34-10. But the big news today in the NBA came from the team, the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, that was great. I don't know what's going on.
The Milwaukee Bucks at 30-13 fired Adrian Griffin today.
Yeah, he's the 4th shortest tenured coach in NBA history.
Wow.
With that firing today. 44 games.
Okay, so
Tark was with the Spurs for 20 games.
Jerry
in
Tarkanian.
1992.
Yeah.
Bob Weiss with the Supersonics, 30 games, 2005. Rudy Tomjanovich, after he came back from his cancer surgeries, he coached 43 with the Lakers, 2004. And Mo Cheeks, Pistons, 50 games way back. And Gar Hurd with the Wizards, 44 games. So, yeah, 44 games, ties for 4th place. 4th all-time, shortest tenure. At 30-13.
Yeah.
30-13 is not the All-Star break yet, and coach gets fired. 30-13. I know their defense has been struggling. I know they lost a ton of games to the Pacers, but man, that's a rough day, DK, when you get fired coaching a 30-13 team in 2nd place.
Yeah, well, one of those losses, one of those 8 straight wins for the Cavaliers came over the Bucks, a 40-point win. Now, Giannis did not play that night, but there's got to be, and when stuff like, and that reminds me of the year that I think it was the year that the Cavaliers won the title and they fired their coach in midseason.
Yeah.
That sounds like something star-driven there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they bring Dame in over the summer. That was a big to-do. And, I mean, we don't know the details of what's going on behind the scenes. But, that's a star-driven league and a make-your-star-happy league. So 30-13 feels like you're safe as a first-year head coach, that you're not going to get fired with a 30-13 record.
You're not 4-39.
But, hey, something else is going on there behind the curtain. So I guess we'll find out soon as everybody else does.
Yeah, they're not 4-39 like Monty Williams and the Pistons are. But, wow, Adrian Griffin gone after 43 games, of which he won 30. He and the Bucks won 30. In Milwaukee. And, there seemed, Joe, and we'll get into this more in the next hour, there just seemed like there was something off from the very beginning of this relationship back during the summer.
It's definitely defense related. They're, I think, the second best offense in the NBA. Their defense has been left a lot to be desired this year so far, and that's what's pulling them down. And you got to get that turned around, especially when you're talking about, Lopez, multiple defensive first teams and all defensive player of the year potentially. And there's some very, very, very good defenders on the team. Dame not necessarily among them most nights, but Giannis is. So they should be much better defensively. So I have to think that it has to be on that side of the ball. They got to make some changes.
All right, we'll talk about what happened in Philadelphia when we come back in the 4 o'clock hour. It's DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported golf links west of Kolb Road, golf links and Man, 22nd Street and Park Avenue, Ina and First Avenue, also 22nd Street and Craycroft. And expect some busy travel at Ajo and Mission. And I'm Cricket, and your weather, expect rain into tomorrow morning, through tomorrow morning, 48 the low, and a 56 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Let Express Employment Professionals help you hire for contract or full-time jobs. Forget about posting jobs, sifting through resumes, and interviews with unqualified applicants. Go to ExpressPros.com to find the location near you. That's ExpressPros.com.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Everyone is talking about the Cats and where to find them on the radio.
Wildcat Radio, 1290 AM on your dial, just talking all day long.
Keep your radio locked to 1290 so you don't miss any of the action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I could enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing in automotive repair or for your next set of tires, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
You know, we've guaranteed our tires in every auto repair since 1960.
With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
Pay with your Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care card and get $66 back. And check out the full page of promotions, discounts, and coupons at jackfurriers.com.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
Remember to tune in to Wildcats Radio 1290 for the biggest pregame show in the Pac-12. Because that's how we roll. We go on the air 4 hours before every football and men's basketball game all season long. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
The universal truth of women's shoes. The cuter they are, the more they hurt.
You have to put your best foot forward, and if your best foot is an ugly shoe, oh my goodness.
Lise Ann thought she had to choose between looking good and feeling good until she got fitted for arch supports at the Good Feet store.
Now I can wear the shoes that I've picked out because I like the way they look, not because they were comfortable.
Good Feet relieved her pain and her fashion dilemma. Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Come to the Good Feet store in Tucson at 4811 East Grant Road.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what?
Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Hour number 2 of the program here on a rainy Tuesday in Tucson. Winter storm, as we like to call it here. Although it is snowing in some places, it's not snowing currently anywhere where I am, which is a good thing.
I poked my head outside and the sun is peaking.
Is it peaking?
Peaking.
All right, well, that's good. It was looking ugly up there on Pima College a little bit earlier when I had a chance to go by through there. We're going to talk some Pima College baseball coming up a little bit later. It's almost college baseball season, college softball season. The spring sports seasons are just around the corner. I mean, well, maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks away. We'll be into the spring sports. Some of the spring sports will be beginning. We've already talked about tennis at the U of A getting underway this past weekend. I know the couple, they got in most of the matches, although the Sunday ones, I don't think they got in over there this past week. Golf already. And next week is the big golf tournament for the U of A men. The NIT, that they have, the tournament, NIT tournament they have every year, is going to be out at Omni Tucson National. And we'll have something to share with you on that coming up here probably tomorrow or Thursday on that. And they won the Copper Cup, which is an annual event that takes place up in Gold City. They had, I think there were 4 teams. It was Arizona, Arizona State, UCLA, and I'm not sure who the 4th team was, but the Wildcats won that event. And how about Julie Meismer for the ladies team yesterday with a hole-in-one? I've never hit a hole-in-one. Every time I step,
maybe you're not trying hard enough.
Every time I step up to a par 3, I say, "Is this going to be my first hole-in-one?"
That's not. I don't think that's the mentality. I think you just want to put a good swing on it and just hope for the best.
And then I don't even hit it anywhere near the green.
I think if you try to hit a hole-in-one, that's when you can't.
But shout out to Julie. Shout out to Julie Meismer for the Arizona women's golf team, who had a hole-in-one at the event that they're playing in. I'll tell you a little bit more about that coming up in the show. We're only going until 5:30 today. We got the Adia Barnes women's radio show, women's basketball radio show coming up for you. That'll be at 5:30, from 5:30 to 6:30. Derek Palmer, Adia, and company are over at the Sands Club tonight, and that is an open show, so you can go over there and check it out if you so please to do so, or so choose to do so, I should say. The ladies finished second at that tournament they played in yesterday. I believe it was only a one-day event, the Match in the Desert. They finished 14 under in second place. So shout out to the ladies for that performance, and for Julie Meismer getting a hole-in-one. But even a bigger shout out to Gili Bitte Starkute, who had the top individual performance at this tournament. She finished -8 to win it. So nice job by Gili. It was a 5-school event: UCLA, Arizona, Arizona State, Baylor, and Kansas. So going up against 3 of our future Big 12 foes, and the Cats finished second behind UCLA. UCLA won the event at -17. Arizona was second at -14.
I was doing a golf clap. I don't know if you picked that up.
Yeah, I did pick that up.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Kinda
golf,
hard.
how about Nick Dunlap over the weekend? Nick Dunlap, an amateur, won the PGA Tour event, the American Express.
Yep.
First amateur to win on the PGA Tour in 33 years. The last amateur to win on the PGA Tour was a guy by the name of Phil Mickelson, and he did it right here at Omni Tucson National.
I remember that.
In 1991.
Yeah, I was in high school.
At the Northern Telecom Open.
$1.5 million was the prize check that went to the second place. They split that between split it up, right?
Yeah.
second, third, and everybody else gets a piece.
Because he's not a professional.
No, he's not.
So it's very interesting. He had an invitation to come play this week at this week's event. I think it's the Farmers Insurance Open. But he decided to not do that because he's now gone home to Alabama. He's a sophomore at the University of Alabama, is Nick Dunlap. He's gone home to decide if he should turn pro now.
I mean, he's exempt for 3 years, right? Isn't that how that works?
Yeah.
3-year exempt if you win a tournament. So he's got, as PGA
I think it might be 2.
2
That
years.
was 2 years.
2-year card for the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Which.
But there's rumors that there might be a $25 million deal from Liv.
Sure.
On the table.
That's not surprising.
Because we know Liv likes to throw money around.
That's like the old Raiders philosophy.
Oh, gosh.
Al Davis style.
I mean,
whoever's got the headlines, sign them.
And he was right. When he put out the release, he said, my life has changed in 24 hours. In 24 hours, he went from just an amateur playing golf in a major tournament, not a major tournament, but in a PGA tournament, to now having to decide what the next step should be.
It's funny how that association, because Phil clearly, was a bit of a prodigy. And after that 91 win here in Tucson, he went on to great things. So there is an association with that. When you're the first amateur to win a PGA Tour stop since 1991, then there's the association with that level of fame. So,
and I believe I read was only the third amateur since the 50s to win on tour. That's crazy. Crazy stuff. All right. NBA last night. There was a game in Philadelphia involving the Sixers and the San Antonio Spurs.
There was.
The first ever meeting between the rookie phenom Victor Wembanyama and Joel Embiid. And the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs, of course, is the great Greg Popovich. And he was asked about this monumental first encounter between these two talented big men in the NBA. This is what he had to say.
What are you looking forward to the most with this being the first time Joel is taking on Victor?
We're going to hammer his ass. I told Wemby to stick him, put your butt right in his stomach, back him down over the rim, and just throw him through the rim. That's what you can look forward to tonight.
He also went on to say, don't tell Wemby I said that.
Well, I hope Joel Embiid did not hear that, or maybe he did.
There was a very cute moment, if you saw it, where they were warming up on the court, and Victor Wembanyama was standing, and Joel came behind him and kind of put his chin up to measure himself. And then he looked at the camera, and he had these big, wide eyes like, yep, that's a big dude right there, big dude. Because Joel himself's probably 7'2". He is every bit. He's above 7 feet for sure. So seeing him go up behind Victor Wembanyama just to kind of size him up before that game was pretty funny too.
And then the ball tipped, and this happened.
We only want to see one dude attempting shots from here on out. Joel Embiid, 65! Chance at 70. Embiid, coast to coast for 70! And that's going to do it. Franchise history here tonight.
That is a nice round number. 70 for your viewing pleasure. I'm telling you, Victor who? To the basket with very little resistance from the Spurs. His understudy coming in.
Victor Wembanyama, Victor who? All he did, Victor Wembanyama, was score 33 points in this game.
Yeah, by the way, he had 33 on minute restrictions, 28 minutes. He also had did you see that left-handed push shot
around
Embiid? So he basically I won't use the term backing him down because that's not what was happening in this scenario, but Embiid was standing straight up. Victor got the ball back to the basket, brick wall behind him, and he turned and kind of just put his left arm under Embiid and shoveled the ball up to the basket. It's indescribable. There's only one player in the history of the NBA who could probably make this shot, DK. Just insane. And Embiid acknowledged that. However, there was another part where basically what Pop described Victor was going to be doing, Embiid more or less put Wembanyama into the rim on a dunk. So it was a man's strength versus a young man who just turned 20 is what we were watching last night.
A 70 piece for Joel Embiid. 24 of 41 from the field. 21 of 23 from the line.
Yes, and his shot chart's crazy because Embiid fell a little bit too much in love with the three there for a couple of seasons, but his shot chart these days is all elbow stuff. He does so much damage from the elbow, and he's just dominant from there. Pretty much, there's a lot of very good offensive players, DK, but the most unstoppable singular offensive force in the NBA is definitely Joel Embiid.
70 points, 18 rebounds, 5 assists, and he did it on the anniversary, January 22nd, of when Kobe scored 81. He scores 70, Joel Embiid. We'll get into the reaction from this game and our question of the day that surrounds what may face Joel Embiid for the rest of the season coming up. But in her new position, over there.
In the corner.
Cricket, you're over there.
Yes.
Nobody puts cricket in a corner.
Yeah, they do all the time.
Is that one of your favorite movies? Dirty Dancing?
No, not really.
Really?
Yeah.
No?
No.
Not a Swayze fan or not a fan of that movie?
Just maybe not a fan. I really like Patrick Swayze a lot. And the dance scenes are, iconic.
She likes Footloose better, I think.
Oh, yeah, which one?
If I had to pick of those
Footloose
two?
or Dirty Dancing?
I don't know.
That's it. That's tough. I love
Breakin'?
both. Breakin'. That's a great movie too. I love all three of those movies. Breakin' was a great movie. Footloose, though, I think I'd have to maybe Footloose would be at the top for me. Maybe
Best emotional barn solo dance in any movie in history for sure. In Footloose, without a doubt.
Footloose. Yeah.
Kevin Bacon.
That was Kevin Bacon. That was something. So, do you have a favorite of those two?
No, not really.
No. So
She doesn't like dance
man, you didn't
movies.
You didn't like either one. What was your favorite movie in the 80s?
Like Lost Boys?
There
That was a
some
good
dancing
one.
in that movie.
That was a good one.
I guess you're right. There was a little bit.
I think I told my
For
Jamie
sure.
Gertz story. Jamie Gertz, the owner of the Atlanta Hawks, right?
She's like a billionaire.
Yeah, billionaire Jamie Gertz. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was a good one. Lost Boys. Cry,
That's more
Cry
my
Little
speed.
Sister.
Lost Boys, Labyrinth,
Cry, little
Legends.
sister, thou shalt not.
Okay,
fall.
now,
Yeah. We all grew up with those are the blur the line between adult and young adult
Good
movies.
good
of the mid-80s.
soundtracks. Good soundtracks from all three of those movies, for sure.
For sure, absolutely.
You can't have a good movie without a good soundtrack. All right, how's the weather out there right now, Cricket?
Well, the weather. Do you want me to do traffic and then weather, or do you want me to do weather and then traffic?
Can are you good like that? Can I flip the script on you
Sure.
and not mess you up?
No, yeah, we
Okay,
could do that.
Yeah, let's do that first.
We're expecting 48 as the low. We've got about a 20% chance of rain until about 5 or 6, and then it increases through the night, probably even into later tomorrow morning. So I think we're going to get a lot more rain, and it is 52 now.
And you got my electricity turned back on, yes? So
Of course.
You're,
She
a,
made
win-
calls.
you're a winner on that.
Yes. Made a couple of calls, Actually, our general manager called for you. He got that taken
Ken
care of.
Kowalczyk coming
Yes,
through.
Yes, as
Kenny
always.
K, all right.
Yeah. And for traffic, we've got several collisions reported. Craycroft northbound at 22nd Street, Grant Road and Dodge Boulevard, golf links west of Kolb at Mann, 22nd and Park Avenue, and also up on the northwest side at Ina and First Avenue. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. At Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, they'll help you with any air conditioning, drain, or pipe issues. Trust the big guy. Contact Tucson's most respected AC and plumbing experts anytime at coolwillies.com, where they are big enough to help and small enough to care. That's coolwillies.com.
DK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
Working on my hockey lingo.
You're
my
doing that.
jargon.
You're learning quick.
Do you know what icing is?
I love icing. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, it's the best part of hockey, isn't it?
Don't miss out on all the fun.
Don't miss out on limited time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 1/4 through 1/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Okay, kids, we're home. Everybody out.
Ew, my feet are stuck.
And what, honey?
On the floor.
Ew. Take off your shoes. Tommy, come carry your sister into the house.
What do you do when the car you use the most has the least amount of time to get clean? Let Recon Auto Detailing, Arizona's premier auto detailing company, come to you and turn your busiest car back into your best. From basic cleaning to a full detail, Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
Want to support a nonprofit that helps youth and adults in the most challenging moments of their lives and save hundreds of dollars on your Arizona taxes? Donate to Intermountain today and receive a dollar-for-dollar tax credit and support their work for their more than 20,000 at-risk individuals each year. To make your gift and for more information, visit intermountaincenters.org. Intermountain, serving Arizona's health need for 50 years.
Hi, you know me, Scott Lehman from ScottSaysYes.com. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center. Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar at wildcatsradio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at wildcatsradio1290.com. Go to ScottSaysYes.com today.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-216-9922. That's 1-800-216-9922. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-216-9922. SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is everywhere. Wildcats fans can listen to us everywhere on our all-new app. Now available from the Google Play Store and the App Store for iPhone users. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. DK on the Sports Tip talking NBA this afternoon. We left off, we were talking about the big game last night by Joel Embid. 70 points, 18 rebounds. 70 points on 24-41 from the floor and 21 of 23 from the line. He did hit one three-pointer, took two, made one, and had 5 assists as well.
When you break Wilt's record, boy, I mean, because with the Warriors is what he scored 100 with, right?
Yeah.
So I think his record was 68, something like that.
Yeah, 68 for the Sixers, correct.
Yep.
All new franchise mark. So obviously this game was in the East and ended right about the time that the Suns game was starting. So after Kevin Durant, who you heard from earlier, knocked down 43 points and led the Suns to a victory, he was asked this in the post-game press conference.
I don't know if you saw Joel Embiid score 70. Cat had 60.
70?
Yeah, Joel had 70 today.
58 through 3.
Yeah,
He had 70?
Yeah. So what did nights like tonight mean in the NBA?
I seen Cat have 40 at half. I mean, the skill level in this league is insane, and actually the coaching, the schemes on offense is insane. You're seeing so many different sets being run for bigs to get threes. I mean, coaches are being way more creative to put their best players in great positions to get those numbers, and you got shooters all around the floor. You got penetrators. I mean, this is the peak of basketball, in my opinion. You're seeing it with guys doing. I mean, come on, man. We got bigs in the league getting 70 and 60, making 9, 10 threes, shooting pull-up jump shot. I mean, it's insane what we got going on.
Insane. And he mentions bigs. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns made 10 3-pointers in that game last night.
That's what he does.
In which he scored 62 points. Craziness. Though, let's hear from Joel Embiid after the ball game. He was caught up. The game was on NBA TV, and Dennis Scott had a chance to catch up with him after the game.
How does this feel? The franchise record, personal record. How's it feel?
Feels good. I mean, credit to all these guys. Extremely unselfish people. I guess, like I said, they're selfish teammates, and they just got me the ball, and I was hot, and they made sure that they put me in the best position. Credit to the coaching staff too. So, I'm just around amazing people.
The other night you had a big game against the Joker. Y'all had a conversation after the game. Tonight, Wemby comes in there. How is it different to prepare for Joker than prepare for Wemby?
Man, that dude is something else. Obviously, he got all the talent in the world, and he's amazing. So he had a great game today. He's gonna be. He has a bright future.
Big picture, Maxi's playing well. I know your bench is banged up tonight. How far can this team really go?
Man, we got a long way to go. It's hard to say, but the key for us is to stay healthy. So we're gonna do the best job possible. Anything can happen, but I think we just want to focus on ourselves and be healthy and play our best basketball.
Appreciate you. Go enjoy this with your family. All right, guys. Embiid, MVP.
Embiid, MVP.
That was also his 21st consecutive 30-point game.
Yeah.
Which is rising.
21st?
21st
consecutive 30-point
game. The record's Wilt with 65. He just passed Wilt with a 20 streak with the Warriors 63-64. So he's currently in 5th place active streaks for most consecutive 30-point games.
Wow. I was not aware of that part of it.
He's on one.
The last time he scored under 30 points was November 15th. Wow. And in this stretch, he has scored 50, 41, 42, 51, and last night, 70.
He's even before the 70, he's on some Harden numbers because he was at 35 a game. Harden's the last guy who even got close to that.
So you heard Dennis Scott say Embiid MVP. This is the question. He started every single game he's played in for the Philadelphia 76ers this season. He's played in 32. The team has played 42. So Joel Embiid has already missed 10 games this season.
You can miss 17.
Yeah. 17 games. Because 82-game season, there's a new rule this year. You got to play to be considered for all the major awards. You've got to play in at least 65 games. So there are 40 games remaining for the Philadelphia 76ers. Joel Embiid must play in at least 33 of those 40 games to even be considered as Embiid MVP. So our question of the day is this. Would it be a crime if Joel Embiid did not get to 65 games? did not qualify for the MVP honor. If he falls short, 64, 63, can't win the MVP, might deserve to win the MVP, might have the numbers to win the MVP, might score 30 plus for another 10, 15, 20, 30 games, but would not be considered if he doesn't get to that 65 game minimum threshold. Would that be a crime? That is our question of the day. Head on over to Twitter right now, at Wildcats1290. You can vote in our poll. Yes, that's a crime. This new rule, load management, making guys play as many games as possible is stupid. That's one answer. No, the best dudes must play. They should be on the floor. Right now, 80% of the people saying it would not be a crime if Joel Embiid misses out on a chance to be the MVP because he does not play the minimum 65
You want to
games.
guess how many games Nikola Jokic has missed this season?
How many?
One game.
One.
43 out of 44.
There you go.
So he's on pace. He won back-to-back before last year.
Yeah. And there was a belief that he would win 3.
Yeah. I mean,
personally, I agree. I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with this rule.
No.
And I said it when we talked about it during the summer. I'm fine with it. I think guys should be out there. I mean, 60. What is that? 65 out of 82. What's that? 60%. What is the? I don't know my math. My U-High math. I got to go to my calculator here to find out what the percentage is on that.
It makes sense because you're talking about little kids, driving 500 miles to see their favorite player, and then the scratch the night of that whole. They're trying to avoid. They're trying to avoid the traditional sitting of superstars, especially late in seasons when teams might not have records, DK, that are going to send them towards a high playoff seed, and they might lose games on purpose. The other side of that is the load management of guys like Kawhi, who hasn't played in back-to-backs in forever, right? And so there is something to be said. I think there has to be a threshold. There has to be a number that they pick. It can't be arbitrary. It has to be a number predetermined, and 65 might as well be close. That's about right. Did you do the math yet?
Yeah, it's 79%.
Yeah, 79% of games.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad
That's
number.
fair. That's fair. So I have no problem with it. I'm voting no. It's not. The best dude should play. It's not a crime. You can head on over to our Twitter page and vote at Wildcats1290. You can also head on over to our Facebook page. I don't know that I put it up on Facebook yet, but I will make sure that I get it up over there. If you want to comment, you can't obviously vote on Facebook, but you can comment on Facebook as well. I want to wrap up our question of the day while we're at it from yesterday, and that was regarding camp coachees.
Right.
And whether or not the Wildcats and Brent Brennan should resurrect camp coachees.
And bring tents.
And everybody sleeps in tents. And then they have a big see-through tent
and
in the middle where everybody can kind of just veg out and bond.
Sure.
66% in the final voting said yes, they'd love to see Brent Brennan resurrect camp coachees and bring that back.
I think especially, and we talked about it, you'd have to leave your phones behind.
Yeah.
In an era of social media and everybody being so connected and the FOMO and all that stuff, I think it can't do anything but help with that bonding process when you're talking about isolating from the general public and having some time together as teammates to talk about where you come from, where you've been, where you're going, all that stuff.
Our guy Doug in Tucson checks in on that vote. He says it doesn't have to be down near Douglas, but I think there's something to be said for getting everybody off campus where they can focus on football and building strong relationships among players and coaches. Absolutely agree with that. We read Joni Luna yesterday. She said that she thinks there should be some type of pampering involved.
Yeah. Hell Week pampering.
Well, Hell Week, and then you get a spa day,
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a spa day after you go through the Hell Week, right?
No, yeah.
It's kind of a reward for the Hell Week.
Earn it.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with something like that. Absolutely. All right. So head on over right now. You can vote in either the active poll right now, which is about Joel Embiid and whether or not it's fair that he might not qualify for the MVP. Now, we had 43 for KD, 72 for Embiid, and then there's what happened in Minnesota last night.
Towns, no hesitation. Swish! Oh, he's firing from Duluth! Towns on the attack. Off window for two. Towns looking for a 50-burger. Over to Towns. Fires from the logo, no good. Towns finishes with 62, but the Hornets come into Target Center and steal the victory.
Charlotte beats Minnesota 128 to 125. The Timberwolves, like the Bucks, are 30-13 on the season. That was just their fourth loss at home.
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns, 62 points, 8 rebounds. He went 21 of 35 from the field, 10 of 15 from three, and 10 of 14 from the line.
Cats coach Chris Finch had to
Yeah.
his thoughts about that 62-point performance?
Yeah, this is interesting.
Chris, what happened in this one to let it slip away?
Well, I mean, it was an absolute disgusting performance of defense and immature basketball all the way through the game. So it really didn't slip away. It had been there from the jump. So this is what happens when you have this type of approach.
Now, not that the NBA and college have everything in common, DK, but we've talked a lot about Caleb Love and his ability to get his. There's something to be said. Cat had one go in there. And what ended up happening is in that fourth quarter, I think he was 2 for 10 in the fourth quarter. They ended up losing that game. When a guy's got a milestone, it's interesting that happened on the same night as Joel Embiid's 70, breaking the Sixers franchise record. When a guy's got it going, there's a guy with a heat check and get the ball to him. He's got it going. He's obviously feeling it tonight. And then there's the let's just give him the ball over and over again so he can break records type of thing, which is a detriment to the team. Now, I didn't watch that fourth quarter between the Timberwolves. I didn't watch the end of that game. And just looking at the sheer numbers, clearly he had it going. He had a 48 at halftime, something like that. Finishes with the 62, but the loss is the big one. So, I mean, the Timberwolves got bigger plans. They've been playing great. That's a semi-young team with Ant really kind of leading the way, and obviously Gobert and Cat. But they definitely, their coach was not excited about the 62. I'll put it that way.
No, and you know, again, they're the number one team in the West right now. This was a Charlotte team that I think was like one of the worst offensive teams in the league, and to lose at home like that can be frustrating, and that's a coach sending a message.
Well, defense is
to
what
his team
got them there.
Yeah,
right. They've been the number one, number two, adjusted efficiency defense in the NBA all year long. And when you can't take care of your business at your own home court against an inferior opponent, that's going to be a frustrated coach at the end of the night.
Yeah, one that had come in having lost 7 of their last 8 with the third worst mark in the Eastern Conference. Not a good loss on what was a pretty good offensive night. As you mentioned, Karl Anthony Towns went 2 for 10, which means he started the game 19 of 25.
Yeah.
Whew.
He's on a heater.
Franchise record, though. 62 points in that game for Karl Anthony Towns.
And the difference there, 10 threes made for Cat, right? And Embiid takes 2 threes.
All right, we will let you know what's happening outside. Rain and a lot happening, so we want to make sure we get you home safely. Here is Cricket once again with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Reported collisions 22nd Street east of Country Club, 22nd and Randolph Way. Craycroft and 22nd northbound Craycroft near 22nd Street, Grant Road and Dodge Boulevard, Golf Links west of Kolb at Mann, Ina and First Avenue, and also heads up at River and Campbell, traffic signals malfunctioning. And for our weather, we do have a really good chance of continued rain through tomorrow morning. 48 the low and 52 now, and light rain in some areas. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new Cravings Value Menu is a big deal. Or rather, it's 10 big deals. From new items like the loaded nachos to familiar favorites like the spicy potato soft taco. Check it out at a participating Taco Bell today. Available for a limited time only while supplies last.
January is no time for the same old meals. HelloFresh is here to kickstart 2024 with enticing flavors and fresh ingredients paired with easy-to-follow recipes and delivered to your door. They'll keep your taste buds guessing with their most expansive menu yet. Over 45 delicious recipes to choose from each week. Right now, get free breakfast for life with code RadioBreakfast at HelloFresh.com/RadioBreakfast. That's one free breakfast item per box while subscription is active with code RadioBreakfast at HelloFresh.com/RadioBreakfast.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Arizona Complete Health means more than health insurance to me. They're my healthcare partner. We get the care we need from doctors we choose, and even earn rewards for healthy things we're already doing. And with Marketplace, Medicaid, and Medicare options, I have coverage to protect my family's health wherever life takes us.
Arizona Complete Health, a plan for life. Visit planforlifeaz.com to find coverage that works for you.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay, nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rock & Kay is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live. When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
Your home for in-depth conversation.
Nothing they do is by surprise. They telegraph what they want to do, and then they brag about it afterwards. It's a way to keep us at each other's throats.
The most pressing issues.
This was just a white on black crime, and you can already see the narrative starting to form in real time.
And fresh perspective.
The air marshals will not be on the airplanes because they're down at the border escorting illegal aliens to their Ubers.
America's most loved truth tellers live on Tucson's home for conservative talk. This is Freedom 1400.
Make the right choice for your home when it comes to windows and doors. For more than 20 years, the Window Depot has provided the best price and biggest inventory on in-stock windows and doors. The Window Depot is open to the public, so whether you're a homeowner or a contractor, you can shop the enormous warehouse. Browse the shelves with over 1,000 vinyl windows, interior and patio doors, and skylights in several varieties and sizes available to go home today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot. Best price, biggest inventory.
Make sure you download or update the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. We've got the entire state covered like no other sports radio station in Southern Arizona. Plus, when you have the app, you can cover U of A sports with Wildcats Radio 1290 anywhere and everywhere you go and out of town, too. The mountains, the beach, working out, or maybe even...
Oh, no. Turn that off.
Download or update the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today and never miss a moment of sports analysis. Well, maybe an occasional moment. Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, getting a chance to visit here with a couple of members of the Pima College baseball team. I've got a couple of pitchers. We've got Diego Alvarez and Antonio Avila, and both these young men have signed letters of intent to play at the Division I level next season. I'll start with you, Diego. You're headed to the University of New Mexico. Why
Yes,
was
sir.
that the right decision for you?
It just really felt like home, and I feel like I had a good connection with the pitching staff over there and the pitching coaches as well. So it just made me feel at home, really.
Now, how did you find Pima? What was the trek for you out of Sahuarita to come here to play ball at Pima College?
Well, my first year I was at Eastern Arizona, and the coach ended up retiring. So I was really looking for a new home, and Hawk reached out to me.
The legendary old dude that was over there all the time, right?
Yes. Coach Chalmers was his name.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
he was fun to watch when those guys would come
he
to
really
town.
got after it. Well, once he retired, Hawk knew that there were some players looking for a new home, and right away he reached out to me, and he's really well at getting players out there. So I feel like I could have found a new home for the next level like I did, and Hawk really helped me out with that.
Yeah, and the opportunity, I would imagine, to come a little bit closer to home, too, obviously played into that.
Yes, sir.
And for you, I mean, what are we going to see from you out there this year? What was kind of your repertoire, and how do you kind of fit into the pitching scheme here?
Well, I'm going to be a starter this year, so I'll be one of our guys starting. And this year I'm just trying to go as long as I can, really. Try to give our best team a chance to win, and just throw a lot of strikes, really. Just make the defense get themselves out.
Diego Alvarez from Sahuarita High School is joining us. What is your repertoire? What do you like to try to attack hitters with?
It depends what type of hitters I see. I mean, usually you want to attack them early, and depending on their swing and how their timing is, that's what you want to do. If they're early, you're going to want to throw something off speed. If they're a little late, you're going to want to throw them hard in. So it's really just how the hitter sees you.
Now, you're not as tall as some of these other guys like Antonio and some of the other guys I've been talking to a little bit from this ball club. How has that ever been a detriment for you that you're maybe not as tall, as imposing looking out on the mound? How have you overcome that in your career?
I mean, yeah, it really would help if I had some height, but I don't look at it as a bad way. I mean, I feel like it's kind of a mental thing being tall. I feel like yeah, I'm smaller, but you always got to think that you're better than the hitter, and I've always had that mentality. So, height has really not been effective to me.
What do you remember about facing these guys last year? I mean, and are there any guys in the lineup that were in the lineup last year that you think, man, I'm glad he's on my side now?
Yeah. Last year I faced Brant a little bit.
Okay.
And I feel like he saw me very well. So I'm glad I don't have to face him this year.
Diego Alvarez joining us also. Antonio Avila is also a pitcher here. Antonio, what are we going to see from you out on the bump this season here?
Talking with Coach, he will probably want to get me in the relief area, maybe even out of the outfield. I'm not sure yet.
Now, you played outfield mostly. Last year, was the plan always to eventually pitch, or was that just something that kind of came with the need on this year's particular team?
Priority is my outfield, and pitching's kind of secondary. It's always kind of been secondary. I go back and forth with it, really. Any given day, I could be better at one or better at the other. So.
And where primarily are we going to see you in the outfield this season?
Mostly right field and center field.
Right field. Which of those do you prefer? I never met a center fielder that liked right field, but
last year I played a lot in right field, so I really kind of got comfortable in that area. So I'd have to choose right field, to be honest.
Right, and for you, just kind of as you were coming up in the game of baseball, what made you kind of fall in love with being a lot of guys maybe when they're playing Little League and Pony League want to go to the infield? I mean, what made you kind of want to be a guy that went to the outfield?
It was really dependent on my speed. I ran track in high school, and so I'm always kind of a faster kid, and I really love running down the baseball and getting to it. The infield is a little bit harder because I'm a little bit taller, and the outfield just fits me really well. I feel like just running the ball down, catching it, getting it in as quick as possible.
Antonio Avila joining us here, pitcher, outfielder for the Pima Aztecs. How do you communicate with these guys how special last season was for this unit?
I really don't look at it like that. This is a whole new year for us, and we're not going to look at last year. at all, I think, because if we set our mind to this year, then we're going to really be successful. We can't just think about our success last year because it's a whole new group, and we have to get comfortable with each other this year.
As a memory, though, for you, what was special about that team and that dog pile to win that first region championship in 25 years?
I remember running out of the outfield right into towards the pitcher's mound and just celebrating with everybody. It was a great feeling.
And to get a chance, obviously, to go on and play deep into the postseason, what did you learn from that experience?
We went to Nebraska, and it was kind of different, changing over to metal bats for our pitchers and our hitters.
Wow.
I feel like if we stuck with wood the whole time, we could have had a really, really good shot. But, that's just part of the game.
So what was that big difference for you as a hitter?
I would say, the ball and the bat just seemed a lot lighter, and when we barreled it, it went farther. But on the counter side, our pitchers have never faced metal bat hitters, so it was kind of a little bit of surprise, I think, to them.
Do you think, obviously, different leagues use different equipment. Do you think that's a detriment to you guys that you guys use wood in this league versus some other JC leagues maybe where they use aluminum?
If we were going to face them metal versus wood, I'd say the aluminum had an advantage. But, I like using wood because I feel like it's a little bit tougher, for the hitter, and it just gets us better in that aspect.
Going back to you, Diego, do your hitters, do they practice at all with aluminum? So maybe you see that a little bit during maybe this part of the year and are maybe a little bit more prepared for it in the postseason?
I'm not sure because last year I wasn't here, but I'm pretty sure that they did practice with it because if you're swinging aluminum, you have a lot more forgiveness.
Yeah.
And with wood, you really just got to find the barrel, and if you don't, then you basically beat.
For both of you, obviously, you mentioned, how Ken brought you here and his, communication, but you also get a chance to work with his brother, Jason, who pitched in the big leagues. What's that been like for you kind of to get that type of instruction with somebody that's been at the highest level of this game?
It's great. He has a lot of good advice to give us, just kind of little things about our mechanics, our mentality. So I really love listening to him and what he has to say about the pitching side.
How about you, Diego?
I mean, basically the same thing he said. He really gets in depth with you on explaining things, and it really helps you out a lot.
Coach Francis is a legend in these parts.
Yeah.
What do you love most about him and his instruction?
He really makes it personal with everyone. I really love just talking to him, talking about what he did back in the day, and his mentality. He really gets us tough. Especially on the base path. That's about it.
All right, favorite big leaguer for both of you, and Antonio, give me both your favorite outfielder and your favorite pitcher.
Oh man, outfielder, I'm gonna have to go. I'll say Mookie Betts.
Okay.
Pitcher, I'll have to say maybe Shohei.
Shohei. How about you, Diego?
That's pretty good, actually. I think I'm gonna have to say Walker Buehler.
Walker Buehler.
Yeah, Walker
okay, that's off the beaten path. Why Walker? What do you like about kind of the way he handles himself out there?
I mean, I like, even when he was younger, I liked him. I love his mechanics. That's the one thing about him. The way he throws, I love it. I mean, sometimes I even try to copy his mechanics, but I don't know if I'm there yet. So.
And you got some wristbands here. Join Tucson PD. What's that all about? You a supporter of our local law enforcement here in Tucson?
Yeah, they came to talk to us earlier this year at one of our first meetings, and they were kind of handing out bracelets. So okay. I just kind of held on to it.
If once baseball is over, what do you guys want to do with the rest of your life?
I'm trying to be a physical therapist.
Nice.
So.
How about you, Antonio?
I want to get into finance. Something in that aspect.
Okay. Well, hey, guys, best of luck to both of you as you continue on this journey. Diego going to the University of New Mexico, Antonio to the University of Nevada. I imagine you guys might see each other. I believe they're in the same conference, are they not?
Yeah. All
right. So let me ask you this real quick before I let you go then, Diego. How do you get him out if you have to face him at the next level?
From what I've seen, we faced each other. Last time I did face him, he grounded out to me, and I remember exactly how I got him out.
So, but the last time I hit a double off.
He did hit a double off
before that.
But I I know what I'm going to be throwing them. So
Outstanding. Guys, best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is Diego Alvarez and Antonio Avila from Pima College Baseball. 5 players today signing to go to the next level. We're kind of getting into that February signing period for a lot of the athletes that'll be going on to play at the Division I level, and some that'll be going to play on at the junior college level as well. So great opportunity to have a chance to talk to Diego Alvarez, Antonio Avila. We'll catch up with some more of those guys as we get set for their season, which is coming up, coming off a region championship season last year for Pima Baseball. The first time they had won a region title in 25 years. So they're coming back pretty much as you would imagine with junior college. A lot of different players from what they had last year off the team that went to nationals. But Ken Hakami always does a tremendous job of restacking the roster, and it'll be fun to kind of watch those guys play again this season.
Remember like 30 minutes ago when I said the sun was peaking?
Yeah, it's not peaking anymore. It's not peaking anymore.
No.
Not whatsoever.
Raining, as a
no.
matter of fact.
Yeah, Pima Baseball's season starts this weekend. They start earlier than the U of A. The first game is Friday. They'll play a doubleheader against Paradise Valley on Friday on the road, and then they come and they play Paradise Valley at home on Saturday. So the season is here for Pima College baseball and softball. We also want to send a shout out on the softball side to a young lady that signed her national letter of intent yesterday, and that was Mallory Zielinski Roble. And she's out of Sarita High School, and she signed her national letter of intent to play at the University of Texas at El Paso. So Mallory is headed to UTEP. Congratulations to her, and we look forward to getting a chance to talk to Mallory as well. They begin their season this weekend at Salt Lake Community College. They're going to head up to a tournament in Henderson, Nevada, are the ladies. They'll play 5 games up there against Salt Lake, Snow, Trinidad State, College of Southern Nevada, and Utah State Eastern. So Rebecca Quiros and her ladies will get their season underway this weekend as well. I mean, it's here. It doesn't seem like we should be playing baseball and softball yet, but that is what we are doing. And we send our best of luck out to the Pima College men and women as they get those seasons underway this week. Basketball also continuing with the Aztecs as well.
100-22.
100-22.
Well, that's the scores you've been talking about on basketball lately.
Basketball
so
team.
assume.
There you go. Yeah, no, it's. I think it's come back to earth a little bit as of late. They've been playing some of those tougher Division I schools, and so the scores have kind of come back into reality the last few weeks. And I know the men have picked up a couple of losses, and so have the ladies. But still, at the top, there's a mixture in the ACCAC. There's a mixture of teams from both Division I and Division II. The ladies last week suffered losses at Arizona Western College, and they also fell at Mesa. That's always a big rivalry between Pima and Mesa. Mesa is ranked 6th. The Aztecs ranked 16th. The ladies went on the road on Saturday and fell by 4 points at Mesa. So, I mean, those two teams are generally the two teams on the ladies' side that are playing for the region championship every single year. It's either Pima or Mesa. All right. Coming up in the next hour, it's only going to be a half hour, but we'll have much more coming up for you. We'll get back into our question of the day as well as some other notes. We'll tell you about a future Arizona men's basketball player and a tremendous honor that he picked up today. It's DK on the Sports Tip, along with JW Madden. Cricket will be back as well, making sure you navigate this ugly weather on your way home. She'll do so right now. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported Orange Grove and First Avenue, Linda Vista and Camino de Oeste, and some slowing at that intersection. Colossal Cave Road at I-10, 22nd Street east of Country Club, 22nd and Randolph Way. Grant Road and Dodge Boulevard, Craycroft at 22nd Street, and at River and Campbell, traffic signals malfunctioning. We have a very good chance of rain continuing through tomorrow morning with 48 our low and 52 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. Welcome to the ultimate playground for online social casino enthusiasts. Get ready to live the Chumba life and play over 100 online casino-style games for free at ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. Have to say, some of you owe Joel Embiid an apology. In fact, a lot of you owe him an apology. Not me. Not me, because I gave him the MVP last year. I gave him his credit. But a whole lot of people got all bent and outraged when he actually won that award. And I'm guessing they're still all bent and outraged because right now he is the Vegas favorite to win it once again. And by the way, that was true even before he put up a 70-piece last night. Yes, Joel Embiid scored 70 points. 70 burger, coming in here and trying to downplay that or diminish the accomplishment by saying, yes, but what has he won? It doesn't matter until he wins it all. As always, hate is the new dopamine. It actually does matter, and it actually does still count as a franchise record, even without the hardware. And don't confuse can't win it with hasn't won it. My man's looking real good right now.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there. Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-Do.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Tender steaks, juicy burgers, tasty chicken. Omaha Steaks is love at first bite. Now get 4 free boneless chicken breasts and 4 free boneless pork chops with your order at omahasteaks.com/sizzle. Omaha Steaks Butcher's Cut Filet Mignon, top sirloin, premium ground beef patties. It's heartland perfection. Order at omahasteaks.com/sizzle and score 4 free chicken breasts and 4 free pork chops. Minimum purchase may apply.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
We get you so close to McHale, it sounds like the Arizona Pep Band is riding in your back seat.
What the hell is going on?
This is the home of Arizona men's basketball. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Good news, everybody.
We stay on the air with you for an extra 2 hours after every Arizona football and men's basketball game all season long. That's why we are the home of the Wildcats. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
The Visit Tucson Desert Showcase returns as CF Montreal and Minnesota United collide in an MLS preseason showdown Saturday, January 27, 6 p.m. at Keno North Stadium. Single tickets start at only $16. Go to fctucson.com or call 520-600-3095.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Tucson area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Final half hour with you today as we lead you into the Adia Barnes radio show. If you're out, go head out to that tonight. Be careful. They are down at the Sands Club on campus at the stadium. They'll be there at 5:30. Derek Palmer and Dia will have the show tonight. I did not see who the special guest was for tonight's show, but I'll see if I can come up with that information for you here. You can listen to the Adia Barnes every Tuesday, the Adia Barnes show every Tuesday night here on Wildcats Radio 1290. So it's going to be Isis Bay and Skylar Jones tonight are the special guests for the Adia Barnes show coming up at 5:30 here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Ladies coming off a tough road trip, lost 2 up in Washington, have lost 4 in a row to fall to 2-5, and have California and Stanford coming in. California on Friday night, Stanford on Sunday. You will hear both of those games right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Sunday, you will also hear the NFC Championship game between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. And we will have Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles will be playing in that game for the San Francisco 49ers out of Tucson High School and Mountain View High School. Trying to get to his first Super Bowl. Got to the NFC Championship game last year. I believe I talked to Demetrius 2 years ago at this level of the playoffs before, because I think they're going into, it's either their second or their third NFC Championship game for the Niners. I know it's their second in a row. I can't remember if they played in it the year before that as well. So Demetrius looking to try to advance. And, of course, you've also still got on the AFC side for Kansas City, Tucson connections there as well. Let's talk to Paul in Phoenix. You're on Wildcats Radio 1290.
David, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you, Paul?
Real good, thank you. Hey, David, couple things. I know it was at a great atmosphere this past weekend. I did make it down to the game there in Tucson.
Oh, awesome!
What a blast on Saturday. That was fun. But it's funny. I saw something on Facebook how there was the UCLA people were not very pleased with the way the U of A fans were treating them and treating the players and blah blah blah, and that who knows if UCLA would ever make a trip out to Arizona again. Like, okay, our fans are actually pretty calm.
Well, not in that tunnel, not in that visiting tunnel as it relates to the UCLA Bruins. I mean, it's not. This is not the first.
Oh, okay.
This is not the first time that there have been issues between the folks that are by the Zona Zoo tunnel there and the Bruins. And you know that you're the first person that's kind of brought that up. That could. I mean, you wonder. I mean, this is the second. We don't know exactly what transpired there, but something did transpire. When the Bruins were exiting the court there, maybe not to the extent as what happened a few years ago, but you wonder if they'll take that into consideration. They're like, well, we don't want to deal with that, to subject our kids to that. So, I mean, again,
interesting.
What happens on the floor?
That's the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, what happens on the floor during the game is awesome. That part of it, but it's the shenanigans that sometimes the kids get a little bit out of control.
Yeah, we're talking like one or two 19, 20-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly.
Right there in that student section is what we're talking about here.
Right. Well, there's probably better ways to escort the visiting team off the court somehow, some way. There's got to be a better way to do that, but that's another story. So, but guys, I wanted to call you real quick. I know there's lots going on regarding the athletic program and the football program, but I have one quick question and maybe just a comment after. I just saw on good old Facebook, Cullen Carroll, the new strength and conditioning coach?
Yes.
Yep.
Is he related?
No. He's not related to the Carrolls of Brennan
Carroll
and
clan.
Pete fame.
The
No.
Trojan Carrols.
No.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Because obviously, then we did lose our former strength and conditioning coach. He went with Jed.
Yes, Tyler Owens was one of the coaches that went to Seattle. Correct.
Okay, well, it happened. So,
But this
you know
young
what,
man,
guys?
this young man is said to be very, very good. Everything I've heard about Cullen Carroll is that he's one of the up and coming young strength coaches in the game. So this is we all indications are he's worked with Stanford, he's worked with San Jose State, so he's worked primarily with teams in Northern California. But all indications are that he's very capable for the position.
Because that's a very important part of this program. I don't know what the stats are. I mean, you guys have it. How many?
One saltwater crocodile.
Games?
That's the stat.
Exactly. Well, exactly. Thank you. But how many games of those 8 rotating defensive linemen? How many games did those guys miss?
Yeah, good
we
point.
were pretty healthy.
Yeah, I don't know that
healthy.
when you talk about the down line, I don't know that there were that many missed games. I'd have to go back and look, but yeah, most of those guys were. I'm trying to remember just off the top of my head if anybody really missed much extensive action. I don't remember there being.
They were fresh.
Yeah,
they were fresh. They were really fresh. It was great to see. But you know what? I'm excited for the new coach. I'm concerned about the athletic program. We definitely have to get an athletic director in sooner than later. We can't be like these people up here in Tempe. I don't know what they're waiting for. I think they're like at day 60 right now, and there's being up here in Phoenix. There's not even a whisper of anything. I mean, I listen to sports radio way too much. I've got to get a life, but they don't talk anything about their athletic director. It's like a dead period for them. It seems like it's just really bizarre. But anyway,
That was like mid-November, right? I mean, it's been a minute.
Was it mid-November, December? It was after we beat them, I think.
Mid-November, yeah. Like I think.
I thought it was before. I don't think he was there that day.
It was like November 14th.
It was before we
or something.
played them.
Is when he stepped
okay.
down.
Okay. Oh, then we're going beyond 60 days then.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So okay. Well, hey, you know what though? What a great game this past Saturday. It was great. I did listen to you guys a little bit, but I just couldn't call in. I just wasn't at a place to do that. But you know what? This team, it is January, this basketball team. And the one thing that I have to remind myself is that it is January. And I think we've gotten over that wall. I mentioned the wall the last time. I think we're getting over the wall, or we're hanging on the top and we see the other side. I think what our biggest thing is, and it's true, is I think we're a little bit nervous about just maintaining being good, but also coach needs to somehow just tell them, guys, we have to finish. We can't shoot we can't have a lower percentage than the other team, but somehow we did this past weekend and we won both games, right? So that's we've got to improve. It's going to improve. I can't see it going. That cannot be a regular thing. So we'll find out this weekend, and let's see how things go. But thanks again, guys.
I'm more concerned about the defensive rotations, I think, in the early stages there than I am about the Arizona Wildcats shooting better.
But you know what, though, J-Dub, you're right, okay? But I really believe that with offense, it energizes this team. I think it takes a lot out of them when they are missing bunnies, and they're kind of feeling sorry for themselves back at the other end. It's like, guys, finish a shot and get back and play defense. And guess what? When you get the ball back again, you can go back down again and get a layup, a nice layup. I think they kind of go hand in hand for me for this team.
Yeah.
This team love getting out and running.
I think also because like they've seen so much 2-3 lately, it bogs down that rhythm. I mean, rhythm is really what it's all about, especially in a Tommy Lloyd-led offense, because it's all about getting a couple of quick touches and those sets and movement and the actions that they get out of that offense. When you see 2-3 zone, and everybody anticipated the Bruins playing some 2-3, didn't see much of it this past Saturday, but they've seen so much zone lately. I think what we all feel as fans watching the team play and maybe not getting as clean a looks has to do with that style they've seen more recently. And especially, obviously, we all know what kind of defense the Bruins play. It doesn't matter if they're freshmen or seniors. They're always going to play that style of D.
That's it. Well, J-Dub, you know what? You'll appreciate this. We need more Phillip. And you know me, I like that kid. I'm special. I think he's going to help us. I think we're all going to be surprised.
Philly
He's
B?
going to help us. What's that?
Say Philly B?
Philly B, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. You guys take care. Thanks again. Bear down.
All right. That is Paul in
Bear down,
Phoenix
Paul.
putting in his call for more Philip Bodavicic. Earlier in the show, we were talking about possible AD candidates here at the University of Arizona. We mentioned Mac Rhodes with Baylor, which was a name that Greg Hansen from the Arizona Daily Star brought to the table. And Baylor last year, in terms of the Directors' Cup, finished 3 spots behind Arizona. Arizona finished 43rd. Baylor finished 46th. I'd have to see just kind of where they generally are. If they're generally a top 50 program, I would imagine that they are. But in terms of, we were talking about, would that be a lateral move for Mac Rhodes to come to Arizona, but he would be coming home. Utah, on the other hand, we mentioned Mark Harlan. Utah finished 28th. So they're definitely in that top 30 realm with some of the more powerful programs that they have, football, gymnastics being some of those. And looking at the Big 12, just looking at what happened last year, the Big 12 teams that finished behind Arizona in the Directors' Cup included Baylor, Texas Tech, West Virginia, Iowa State, and Kansas. Those are all teams that finished behind Arizona in the Directors' Cup, which is the measure of your entire sports program. The teams that finished ahead of Arizona included, Arizona State, TCU, Oklahoma State, just to name a few. Those are the teams that finished ahead of Arizona. And I think I mentioned last year that the Wildcats would be, and the Sun Devils would be 3rd and 4th, I believe. 3rd and 4th in terms of the teams that are going to be in their Big 12 once they got there, as it related to the Directors' Cup. All right, lots of bad weather going on out there. Cricket rejoins us from her new location here inside the studio because we can't get her other camera working. But now she can see everybody.
I can see.
Do you need a booster? Can you want us to get you up a little? Was that a better?
That chair's a little taller.
Switch that chair if you want to. Yeah, that's. You do what you want over there. You know, this is your this is your party.
Executive decisions.
Now Kelvin's going to come in and be like, hey, what's going on here?
He's going to be like, somebody's been sitting in my chair.
Someone's been sleeping in my bed.
Yes, okay. J-Dub said a little while ago the sun was starting to peek out.
It did peak momentarily.
For just 3 minutes.
I saw it peak,
you see it?
For about a minute and a half.
No?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, well, now it's gone in and it's raining again.
Yes.
So what's it look like out there right now?
So we're probably going to have continued rain through tomorrow morning. It's going to be a lot of rain, probably overnight. Yeah, 48 our low.
Should we worry about any flooding, you think, or?
There's probably always a concern for that, but I don't think it's as much of a risk as like it would be during like monsoon flash flood
right,
time.
Yeah.
The problem, I mean, it's like when it can't absorb is an issue. So the slow trickle rain, there obviously will always be a maximum amount of water that can be stored in that because the caliche is such a tight-packed surface. But the flash flooding is really what you worry about with the foothills and the areas get a big amount of rain in a short period of time.
Yeah. You sound sciencey over there.
I am such a sciencey person.
The science is sciencing.
He blinded me with science. That's another good one from the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Thomas Dolby.
That's a jam.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. And so rain through tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And when's it going to get good again? Do we know?
Probably tomorrow late morning.
All right.
I mean, that's what the weather's saying
so
now.
So I can go outside on Thursday then, is what you're saying?
I'm hoping that I hope I can take my dog
I gotta
outside.
go outside to go home, but I go outside and enjoy it.
I just hope you have your power back on.
Yeah. Well, it's more difficult for my wife because she's got to work there. That's her office. You know, when the lights go out, the lights go out at the office, that's not a good thing. I told her you might have to take your butt over there to I couldn't think of the name. I said, what's that coffee place where everybody goes to work?
Right.
Starbucks. As you got to take your butt across the street to Starbucks and start working over there. All right.
Okay.
Traffic-wise,
Yes.
what's it look like?
Well, from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic at River and Campbell. Traffic signals malfunctioning. Some backups at that intersection. We've got reported collisions at Orange Grove and Skyline, Linda Vista and Camino de Oeste, Colossal Cave Road at I-10. And we were seeing some backups for traffic on Campbell near Prince Road and Fort Lowell near Campbell. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer. As the world keeps changing, so does COVID-19. That's why this season's COVID-19 shots have been updated. They're designed to help protect against recent variants. Learn more about a COVID-19 vaccine option at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Chevy Silverado is the #1 best-selling full-size truck in Arizona. Did you know that O'Reilly Chevrolet has the largest selection of trucks in the valley? Now you do.
O'Reilly Chevrolet. DK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
Now, is that league where they got the keg at second base and you got to chug a beer before you get to third? Is that how that works?
J-Dub, that would have been a better league for me.
Oh, okay.
Don't miss out on all the fun.
Happy New Year, guys. That was right in my ear.
Oh, good. I see you're doing the whole baby New Year costume with the diaper and the sash.
Time to make resolutions. I resolved not to look at you dressed like that. People should start the new year by fixing up their heating and air system.
That's true. Alaskan AC can fix the stuff other companies can't.
Again, right in my ear. Plus, the Grizzly.
Right. The Grizzly is our custom-built AC made to take a chomp out of Arizona summers.
Still winter, guys. And we can fix up heaters to save our customers gobs of money. Gobs.
We believe in fixing before replacing.
What's a gob?
An Alaska-fied system is one that will last longer
and is guaranteed to be repair-free for an entire year. Woohoo! I swear, one more time with that thing.
Good resolution, Gary. Let's get out there and help people fix up their systems and save some real money.
All right. Probably should have told him to put some clothes on first.
Yeah.
Schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
Well, it's the first part of a new year, and some people are coming up with some pretty interesting New Year's resolutions.
I'm taking karate classes.
Hey, wait just a minute.
Let's get something really stupid tattooed on our butt.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why not make your New Year's resolution to always save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn? You'll not only save up to 40%, but there's also no city or state sales tax at Tobacco Barn because they're on the reservation.
I'm getting married to the first girl I meet. Hey there, sweetheart.
And you can save up to another $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Let's try parachuting. Geronimo!
So save up to 40%, save with no city or state sales tax, and save up to another $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. But maybe skip the skydiving. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-736-6158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-736-6158. That's 800-736-6158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-736-6158. Again, 800-736-6158.
The Visit Tucson Tucson Desert Showcase returns as CF Montreal and Minnesota United collide in an MLS preseason showdown Saturday, January 27, 6 p.m. at Keno North Stadium. Single tickets start at only $16. Go to fctucson.com or call 520-600-3095.
Wildcats fans from coast to coast can bring a little bit of Tucson to themselves wherever they happen to be by streaming 1290 on our website at wildcatsradio1290.com. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
You can make the decision right now to get lasting relief from that awful joint pain in 2024. Don't go another year compromising because of that pain in your knee or your shoulder. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative non-surgical pain relief. Your body has what it needs to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue, and QC Kinetics can make it happen. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. The future of pain treatments has arrived, and QC has tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis and or injury. This is not a Band-Aid. This is a revolutionary treatment that can get you moving again, get your life back, in fact. And listen, it's non-surgical. If this is the year you decide to fight back against that pain, take the first step now. Call QC Kinetics. Get a free consultation on your calendar today. There's locations, 2 of them, one off of Academy, the other off Orange Grove. Call QC Kinetics now, 520-497-4955. That's 520-497-4955. QC Kinetics. Live right, pain-free. 520-497-4955.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290. And now, the best thing you will hear all day.
Hachi-machi!
It's time for the Wildcat Radio Replay. In case you missed this earlier in the day, we now bring you the best of 1290. It's made possible by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, we've been kind of talking a lot of NBA today on this Tuesday, January the 23rd. One of the other things that transpired last night was the first time we've had a chance to hear from the Golden State Warriors since they suffered the tragic passing of assistant coach Dejan Milojevic. The Warriors have not played a game since late last week. I don't think they're on the schedule, if I'm mistaken, until tomorrow will be their first game back playing. But Steve Kerr spoke about what he and his team have been dealing with since their coach, their assistant coach, and their friend and their confidant was stricken with a heart attack last week in Salt Lake City.
It's hard to describe the week. Heartbreaking, devastating. It's just the saddest thing I've ever been a part of in the NBA. Where we lose someone who's so close to us, and then more importantly, seeing his family suffer. So this last week has been, the last 5 days, I guess, has been full of all of the above: the shock, the emotion, the extreme outpouring of love from all over the world. I don't know if any of you saw, we watched as a team this morning the event that they had in Serbia. Decky's 2 teams were playing against each other. It just happened to be on the schedule tonight. Mega, the team he coached, versus Partizan, the team he starred for. And I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like the pregame dedication from the fans and the organizations there to Decky. It was incredible. We watched it as a team, and so I think we got a better sense of just what Decky meant to his countrymen, and of course how much he meant to us, and to Natasha and Masha and Nicola. It's been just a devastating week.
How has the organization just tried to process this and be there for each other during the past week?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's there's no handbook for this. You just try to be together. I think the overall sense is you just want to be with each other when something like this happens. You want to be with the team. You want to be with the coaches, and you want to be with Decky's family, and so all of that has been happening over the last 5 days. Not a whole lot you can say other than expressing how much you love each other, how much you loved Decky, how much this team means to us, how much we all mean to each other. We talk about perspective pretty often, here with the team, and how lucky we are to play and coach in the NBA. But of course, perspective doesn't really hit home until it hits home, and that's been a topic of discussion here the last few days. The guys are trying to get through it as best they can. Yesterday, we just had kind of open gyms so they could play pickup ball. Today we had our first practice, and we got through it, but not easy.
That was the Wildcat Radio Replay with the best of the best from 1290. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
Yeah, the Warriors will return to the court on Wednesday night at home when they take on the Atlanta Hawks. And, of course, we still send everything out to that organization, all of our best, as they deal with the tragic passing of Dejan Milojevic. That's going to wrap up our show for today. Coming up next, the Adia Barnes Radio Show with Derek Palmer and Adia Barnes, live from the Sands Club on campus. Isis Bay, Skylar Jones, your special guest tonight. Thanks to all the folks that were part of this show. J.W. Madden, Cricket, most of all, thanks to you for listening. My name is David Kelly. This is DK on the Sports Tip. That's my time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great evening.
Today on Hey Culligan's Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener, here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, get a smart